Hi fellow dog fanciers, welcome back to a new video finally. If you don't know me yet, my name is Adriana, you can call me Adi as well if you prefer that. I own 7 Whippets together with my family and I sit down every Friday to discuss a hot topic from the dog slash whippet slash animal world. If that might be something interesting for you, please don't forget to subscribe. Today I'm going to tell you about the 10 common misconceptions about Whippets which I have heard most often. Whippets and Sighthounds are strange dogs, so being misunderstood by the common non-Sighthound owner is quite normal. If you own a Whippet or another Sighthound, please tell me in the comment section what are those things that you have heard most often about your dog that are not really true. Misconceptions and misinformation has to always remind us of how important it is for us to do our research before deciding to get a dog that represents a certain breed. Never rely on a single source of information and always strive to learn more and more. And please don't get angry at the people that simply don't know the facts. Instead, do your very best to educate them and help them learn more. Let's get started. This is something I hear a lot. Oh, he has so much more to grow, they say, looking at Brady, who is 9 years old and now staring at me completely confused. Whippets and greyhounds are 2 separate breeds that both belong to the Sighthound family. Your Whippet will typically stop growing between the age of 7 and 10 months, as of course this depends on its genetic pedigree and breeding lines. They will never become a greyhound, or just because they will understandably not grow as big as a greyhound will, this doesn't make them a small greyhound. These are 2 different breeds bred for different purposes. That's similar to the previous one. Still, Whippets are Whippets and Italian Greyhounds, or Iggies as I like to call them, are still Italian Greyhounds, 2 different breeds. To the untrained and not knowing eye, an Italian Greyhound, a Whippet and a Greyhound would look like a small, medium and large version of the same breed. However, they're 3 different breeds with different histories, different standards and conformation, not the same dog in a different format. On those well-known smartest dogs lists, the Border Collie usually holds number 1, while members of the Sighthound family, Whippets included, are usually somewhere after the 50th number. And so people's first thought is, wow, probably these are some really dumb dogs. Well, let me tell you, I have worked with, been around, seen so many dogs in different breeds, and so far, Whippets are some of the smartest I have ever seen. Whippets are too smart for their own good and for yours too. They know yours and your family's routine better than you ever will, and one of the reasons why is because they're extremely keen on small detail. I should actually make a separate video solely dedicated on the Whippet intelligence, and of course I will do so in the future because the topic is very broad. Our shepherd has an amazing work ethic, which of course requires obedience, looking you in the eye and expecting what would be the next task that you would ask from them. Their motivation is to work and please you, and so they're easier to train. Whippets are not working dogs, and their motivation is if they do this thing for you, which you're now asking from them, what are they going to get? Is it going to be treats or affection? And Is this treat or affection really needed right now, or do they have something better to do at this exact moment? And if that is the case, they will end up ignoring you. What I forgot to mention is that when teaching discipline and house rules, you have to be firm with them, but Whippets are very sensitive with a delicate heart and soul, so if you want to teach them tricks and new tasks, you have to be very positive and patient, or else they might lose motivation to cooperate altogether. If you're used to the idea that a dog must obey and do whatever you ask anytime, with a Whippet, you have to terminate this mindset of yours altogether. They're independent dogs, and by nature, they're not obliged to do nothing for you. Their lean and athletic figure is often misleading people to believe that they need at least 3 hours of running at top speed every single day. That is simply not true. Well, of course, they need exercise, running, walks, and socializing. But they also like to sleep most of the day, which makes them fantastic multitasking dogs. They both love to do sports with you, but also to be curled up next to you on the couch on those days where you just want to be lazy. And of course, every Whippet would have its own personality and energy levels. Those that are more energetic would, of course, require extra physical and mental exercise to keep them happy. Shocking, I know. Whippets are clean, they have no smell at all, and I see no reason for them to be kept off the furniture. In fact, for most of their history, they have been very loving companions, and they have followed their owners almost everywhere around the house. It's common sense for them to share the furniture with you, and you will be an amazing Whippet owner if you just accept that fact and let them. Some people are hesitant to do so due to their beliefs that letting the dog on the furniture will ruin the discipline, but this is simply not true. Your dog not sleeping on your bed doesn't make them a well-behaved one. There's so many other factors. Contrary to their physique, which makes people think that Whippets would be picky eaters and would have hard time to actually eat enough food. Whippets love, and I mean they love food, and sometimes I debate whether I like chocolate more than a Whippet would love its food and treats, and for the 13 years I have owned Whippets, I don't have the answer yet. Of course, there might be Whippets out there that are pickier than others, but generally they just love their food. They love their breakfast, lunch, dinner, in between meals, snacks, chews. They love everything. So you wouldn't have to worry about making them eat. Their body shape and structure is also to blame for this one, and I don't blame you if you think so too, because this is also what I thought before I got to know the breed for real. A healthy Whippet in a fine condition will have all its bones covered and none of them would be sticking out. Yet when you touch them, you should be able to very easily feel the hips, the spine, the ribs, and there shouldn't be any excessive fat covering those. So they aren't skinny, but the way they look is because of their body structure, which makes them fit for purpose, or else how would they be able to earn the reputation of being some of the fastest dogs in the world? If you have small pets, you should never get a Whippet. Have you heard this one before? Let me tell you, it really isn't true. I have 2 videos entirely dedicated on the topic. One is Whippets and small pets and the other is for Whippets and cats. I will leave them somewhere above here so that you can go and watch them after this one if you want. Whippets are bred to run after and hunt small game, which means that a small pet might trigger their chasing or hunting instinct. But as someone who has had Whippets and small pets together all the time and has seen hundreds of families that have Whippets and small pets, especially cats, I can tell you that you can safely have both under certain conditions and with certain precautions. But because I have already made 2 videos on these topics, I'm not going to get into too much details here, so if you want to learn more, please go and watch the other 2 videos. People have this image of Whippets being those terrified, shaking dogs that are too afraid to leave the corner. I don't blame you because these were my thoughts before I got truly introduced to the breed. They're sensitive dogs, which makes them prone to being less confident, especially if not socialized properly. However, well-bred, well-raised and well-socialized Whippet will be brave, outgoing and will not show signs of fear. They might not always be willing to meet every single dog and person when out for a walk, but they shouldn't be showing any signs of fear. If your opinion is that Whippets are timid and scared, you have yet to meet the right Whippets. Despite being short-haired, very clean dogs that don't shed a lot, Whippets are unfortunately not hypoallergenic. They still shed and will leave certain amounts of dander around your house, which is a huge trigger for animal allergies. So if you have severe allergies to dogs, I sadly don't think that the Whippet will be the recommended breed for you. So that was it for today's video, my fellow dog fanciers. I hope that you liked it and that you enjoyed. Have a fantastic weekend and a wonderful week afterwards, and I will for sure see you next Friday with a new video. Bye bye!